Yes, sir. Welcome back to another Chop or Die film session. I am your host of the Chop or Die podcast, Jamal Forrest. And listen, man, we're going to talk about Olamide Zaccheaus. In the last film session, we looked at Noah Brown. So if you haven't done so, take a look at that. But this one is a fun project of mine, because I don't think that a lot of people in the fan base really got to know Olamide Zaccheaus, his previous history, and like what he does well. And the good thing for Olamide, he's 27 years old, right? You're in your prime year as a wide receiver. Now, I don't want people to think that this individual is going to like shoot on the scene as some superstar, but you got to understand like where some ascension lies in players and in terms of opportunity like that they're getting, and then the lack thereof that they don't get, such as his wasted year in Philadelphia. So we're going to take a look at Olamide Zaccheaus. Some of the tape that you'll see is going to be from 2021. Some of it is going to be 2022, with just a slight glimpse of what he did in 2023 with the Philadelphia Eagles, albeit it wasn't nothing too much to show from the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, there's this tape to look at, but what I want to dive into is like when he had 21 starts in 34 games with the Atlanta Falcons his last 2 years before going to Philadelphia. That's what we want to look at. So without further ado, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Olamide Zaccheaus film session is up right now. Okay, so first we're going to look at how he can separate at the top of his routes. First and foremost, overall, like you'll probably see it in some of these clips, but against releases or against press coverage and soft press, like one of his biggest things that he separates with is his foot quickness, right? He has a package with single moves and double moves to help him win at the release at the line of scrimmage. He can accelerate really quickly, get into his stems. Good pad level, has good solid jam anticipation. What does that mean? Like he's prepared against like contact, right? He doesn't expose himself too much to contact. He understands how to maneuver in those situations. And at the top of routes and just generally speaking against coverage, he knows how to free himself, right? And what you're seeing, by the way, he's number 17 with the Atlanta Falcons, right? So you'll see him on this short crosser in this zone look. Marcus Mariota is the quarterback, by the way. So you'll see some clips with Mariota in terms of the backup, what he'll be bringing to Washington. But you see him kind of free himself there, first level, wide open. But unfortunately, you see him kind of adjust his route too at the top, right? See him clear that linebacker who automatically drops back and just maneuvers. He's able to find that open zone for it. Unfortunately, the ball is thrown away. Same thing. Now you're seeing a deep dig, right? Or somewhat of an over route, but a really good catch at the catch point as well. But just understanding, like in this cover three, being able to, one, find that second, third level void, and just having that processing ability to understand, like he got the right depth and now he's breaking it off. Got some separation at the top of your route. Cleared the linebackers pretty easily. The other angle wasn't able to show the catch, but you kind of see him adjust to it, get low, secure it, get up and get a couple extra yards, even though he was down. This one, some good change of direction. I think this is a Matt Ryan year. What is this? Oh, no, it's still Mariota. So kind of run his back one time. You see him on the motion to the front side of the formation, having that good ability to just turn and break, because like you're going at a good speed. Now he did fumble, right? And that's something that you got to think about, you know. But he did fumble, but you see from the standpoint of one, getting upfield, right, and then having that athletic ability to turn at that speed and that tempo right back towards the middle of the field. Good catch at the catch point, right? Adjusting high, snagging it away from his frame, but wasn't able to secure it at the end. That was one fumble. By the way, as we're talking, if you all want to know, he's had only one fumble in his career, and it was that catch, ironically, of the film that we're showing. He's only had one fumble in his career. He's had over 100 touches in terms of rushing and receptions. He had 108 specifically, so one fumble in his career, and we just happen to show it on this tape. Same thing at the top of your screen. When we talk about like understanding like the depth part, but also understanding the coverage that you're up against, you got the right depth. He's selling that vertical stem, pushing upfield really quickly. That's really good. but then quickly breaking back out and coming back to the football too. So you're talking about at the catch point. First off, it's a first down, but at the catch point, that's like 5 yards of separation. Easy catch, get out of bounds, get the first down, you keep it moving. So another thing that Zaccheaus does well, we talked about zone coverage, right? Another way that he understands how to separate is just first and foremost influencing defenders at the top of routes, or just with their hips and being able to cross their face, or just get them out of position, right? He has like that upper body, or excuse me, that shoulder above, basically ability to process and know how to separate from those defenders. And what I mean by shoulder above is like being able to influence them with his movements more so than it is like his speed or his athletic ability, right? It's more so like I'm gonna dot you up mentally and win. This is against Marcus Lattimore. So let's run that back. And I told you that was going to be some 2021 film. This is Matt Ryan. You take that inside release, get to the top of your route, selling that over, right? Like you're going across field. Look at his head in terms of where his head is looking before he breaks back out on a dime against Marcus Lattimore once again. Touchdown. Really good play. Now you see a deep ball. Matt Ryan getting him the football. Once again, we want to kind of show what this looks like from, look at the contact that he avoids right here. Getting inside, avoiding the jam on that first level, right? That's a good, soft, like a single move release, like from in space. So you're able to get upfield, get into your route, sail vertical, but you're going like trying to split the middle safety, right? Before breaking back out. And what did I say kind of before this moment? That's a good over the shoulder catch, by the way. Really good adjustment at the catch point. But like how he influences defenders' hips, this is all like shoulder up type of processing, that mental ability to make a play, right? And I think this is what this is showing. Sure, I mean, it helps to be athletic, but if you can influence defenders with how you set up your stems, how you set up those type of situations, that's important. And this is what you're getting from Zaccheaus. When people think that, like, look, first off, he is 5'8", right? So when people think that he can't play inside or just outside, or he's only relegated to the slot receiver, you got to understand what he can do to know that he can win on the outside and inside. There's so many different ways for him to actually get the ball and succeed, or get targeted and succeed. And it's not just a slot person. So you're going to see him in multiple situations with the Washington Commanders where he's not just playing slot. I don't know how often he'll play outside. I don't know how many reps he'll see from outside, but that's kind of the situation that you get from Olamide. His ability to win with his shoulder up allows him to play multiple positions. All right, so here are some moments at the catch point that you kind of get to know from Zaccheaus. Over the shoulder, but look where he's at too, by the way. Like I said, he's an outside receiver in this moment, right? He's not afraid to get deep. Or let me rephrase that. Quarterbacks are not afraid to target him deep, despite his 5'8" ability. He ran a 4.49, so he's not like blazing fast, but 4.4 all the bat, it should be respected regardless, right? Here we go again. That's a one-handed catch. Really good concentration from Olamide. Now, he didn't get too much separation, but he did make a play at the catch point. It's kind of show the concentration, right? Very competitive play. He didn't give up on it just because he was covered. And then over the middle, taking a big hit. Where was he at, by the way? Let's kind of rewind this. Outside receiver, not just a slot man. Good processing, right? But also that's good toughness to handle that in that moment, about to take a big hit. Very good concentration. Ball security, took the flag, ate the hit. And this is last year. Now, the route part, you know, it is what it is. Everything was covered. But now from a scramble drill standpoint, you see him break his route, right? Tough catch in traffic. You got your touchdown. But you see him convert his route upfield a little bit. Touchdown for Philly. Great catch for Zaccheaus in that moment. One of his 2 touchdowns with the Philadelphia Eagles last year. But yeah, that's going to kind of wrap it up for me with Zaccheaus. Part of this of being a project for me, or a fun project for me, was, you know, I did a scouting report on Zaccheaus before last season, so I kind of knew what he would bring to a team. Again, when I say in podcasts, or I said on social media that, you know, I think that people are not understanding exactly what this receiver room, like, I think they don't know what an F grade or a D grade receiving room looks like. Is reasons why I bring Noah Brown film session to everybody and I share my findings. Same thing that I do with Zaccheaus, and I share my findings. The room isn't complete trash after Terry. There's talent here, and they aren't true number 2s, but you have a solid receiving core, and I think the floor is high. I don't think it's super low. I think Zaccheaus is a rotational player that you can play at the slot. You can play at the Z receiver. He can win in several offenses. But I mentioned his release plan. We saw some of that. We saw some of his quickness, his instincts throughout the phase of a route that allows him to win versus zone from outside alignments. And he can also win against man from tight splits, slot alignments, things like that. He has very good ability to separate and create opportunity for QBs on the second level behind the linebackers. We showed those dig routes, right? He has good hands and good adjustments to inaccurate passes. Again, instincts pop up. He's very competitive. Another instance, like we showed Noah Brown on scramble drills. Zaccheaus, same dude. He's really good on scramble drills and works well with mobile quarterbacks. He'll compete in the run game. Another thing that they look for in their receivers, Cliff, Dan Quinn, and Adam Peters, right? He has good awareness of his blocking assignments, good competitiveness. He's willing to block defenders on all 3 levels: linemen, linebackers, DBs. He can sustain his blocks. So I think all of those things are important to understand with Zaccheaus as we get to know him heading into the season. So I'm actually interested to see how he plays here with an opportunity. Again, 27 years old, 1-year contract, I believe, but this is his prime years that Washington is getting him in. And he's coming off a season where he was underutilized and he was just out of place in a sense with Philadelphia. So he's getting an opportunity where the coaching staff is going to work him. And if you see what he was able to do with the Atlanta Falcons, you can expect some production in Washington. As long as he ain't injured, you can see production from Olamide in a sense where you're like, okay, I didn't know he had this in him. But if you watch this film session, you know that he had that in him. So that's going to wrap it up for us. I hope you all enjoyed it, man. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And yeah, man, we appreciate it. We're out here. Peace.
Chop it down, chop it down, you gon' chop it down. Chop it down, you gon' chop it down. Damn, set, watch him throw the ball, we gon' pick it off. You gon' let him hit the hole or you gon' cut it off. You gon' play through 4th and long or you gon' punt it off. Your defenders, heavy hitters, put your pads in. Don't be looking for the ref to throw no flags in. Keep the helmet on, keep the cleats tight. You the type to want to win by any means, right? You should look alive. This is Trap or Dive.